Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy King J, and I know you probably never thought this one was coming, did you? We're here with the man behind the blasted Salami.
Hey, how
What's
you
going
doing,
on?
Jay?
What's
Thanks for
going?
having me.
Thanks for your time, man. I appreciate it, man. Today, I wanted to talk about Tekken 7 Season 4. A lot of people saw the trailer. We didn't really see that much. Um,
Mm.
I wanted to know your thoughts. Obviously, Tekken 7 Season 3, we can both agree that it's pretty much like high damage combo based season, right?
Yeah, you know, I think season three actually, um, up until the Leroy patch, and I don't think this is a popular opinion, but I think up until the Leroy patch, it's generally a few missteps here and there. I think it's generally though the best version of Tekken 7 yet. But then the new DLC characters came and they turned the balance a bit topsy turvy. But look, I'm not a huge fan of the extra damage. I'm not a huge fan of the Gonzo wall carry. But like objectively, a lot of the weaker characters got better in season three. A lot of the best characters from season two got brought down. So yeah, I think overall the balance pre Leroy in season three was pretty damn good.
And then obviously Fakram came along
Yeah.
and
I just
yeah,
played a set against today. I was like, what is this character?
yep. The
Why can he help
characters,
me from like this end of the screen?
he can do it from range 5. I was testing it and I was like, from that range, he could just do forward, 4-3. Like they thought the cancels were a bit hard, but it's not. It's just timing. That's it. And it's
Yeah.
like the character can literally do so much things, and you're just sitting there thinking, why am I being mixed up by this character? And he's got an amazing backdash for a big character. He doesn't need a sidestep because his movement is backdash is so good. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
It's nuts. It's nuts. It's nuts.
So moving on, Tekken 7
Yeah.
Season
Yeah.
4.
Season
So
four. Well, mm.
would you like wish to happen in Tekken 7 Season 4?
Well, I think the trailer kind of alluded to this that they're focusing on the online experience. And this game is 4 years. Well, I'm about to say 4 years. It's actually the arcade version was
5.
released in 2015, May
Yeah.
2015. So this game is well over 5.5 years old now. We've had it since 2017, so 3.5 years on consoles. Um, so at this point, I think season four they realize that the people who are still playing are like the core audience, right? Then they're not going to get that many more people. They've gone through a few Steam sales or a few PSN sales. The casual audience that's going to buy this game already has mostly bought it. So I think this season is mostly for the fans, and they're probably listening to the biggest fan outcry, which is the netcode. And yeah, they worded it very ambiguously in the trailer. They said online improvements, and I don't know what that means. Hopefully it's more than a Wi-Fi indicator. Hopefully we get some real tangible improvements to the actual netcode.
Yeah. I mean, the online experience is definitely a thing. Obviously, I feel like COVID has taught a lot of fighting game developers
Oh yeah.
that, online is a big part. You can't just release a game with the old model and just think, oh, on offline is it, and everyone's gonna go to tournaments. They do know now that we're stuck with online, so you have to improve online.
Yep.
And this isn't
Yeah.
with Tekken. This is to do with Street Fighter, like all these other games. I think Killer Instinct is probably one of the best that has, yeah,
Yeah.
one of the best netcodes that I've seen before, like, and experienced. So
Yeah. All the four games they were supposed to have at Evo 2020 was Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat 11, the My Little Pony one, them's Fighting Herds, and Skullgirls. And those four are the ones with really good rollback netcode. So that's why. I think if they had Tekken in an online tournament, it would be a bit of an embarrassment to see like JDCR being snake edged in the grand finals by Weed Goku 69. You know?
it would be
So
crazy.
yeah. So yeah. Um you know, as I, like yeah, they're clearly focusing on the online experience, and let's hope that's more than just Wi-Fi indicators.
Yeah. I mean, so is there any characters that you're looking to come back?
I mean, the character really seemed to be quite ninja-y, and I think everyone is kind of expecting that to be Kunimitsu. If it is
Mm,
Kunimitsu, no, Kunimitsu was dry. Okay, she looks cool. I like her design, but she was super dry. She's always been dry. I mean, from a gameplay perspective. And what did she bring to the table in Tag 2? Like
true.
the I9 Punisher, right, in Forward 4, if you're perfect with it. In the first version, she could duck under mids with her crouch. I'm not sure. Did you remember that?
Yeah, yeah,
Like the
yeah,
first, that was nuts.
yeah.
But like other than that, she's just like a bland Yoshimitsu. Not very good. She's never been very effective either. So if it is Kunimitsu, I hope she goes through a real like her gameplay goes through a real rethink.
I'm thinking that maybe I was thinking that at the top that it was Kunimitsu, but I'm thinking maybe it might be Roger. Maybe.
Rog?
Yeah, I had a
Rog?
feeling Roger. Yeah, there's something that's telling me. I thought it was Kunimitsu at the start, but I think it's a bit too blatant. Like everyone's like, "Oh, Kunimitsu." It's a bit too blatant for it to be Kunimitsu.
It'd be
So
funny.
yeah,
It'd be funny if it was Roger. Um, I think they actually the reason it might not be Roger though is because I think I'm not sure if I'm imagining this, but I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that they're not going to include the Roger because of animal
animals.
cruelty or PETA or something like that. But we still have the bears,
There we go.
so yeah.
So I don't know.
Um,
It's a bit of a weird one, but if it's not, I
yeah.
think it's obvious when it's Kunimitsu. I think Kunimitsu, Jun, Kiryu. Those are the three that I'm on.
I don't want Jun. Did you
Neither
say
do I.
Jun? Kunimitsu?
Yeah, I don't want
No, no,
Jun
no.
either.
It'll be so like just naff if they plopped her in at season 4. She's supposed to be like central to the storyline. So if you want to have June, you have to have a whole game centered around her. So I kind of hope it's not June. It would just be a disservice to the character.
But I think with the whole thing about with every darkness there's light, I feel like that's what's hinting towards Jun. You know,
Maybe.
You see Kazuya, and you know he's at the start. Like you kind of just it's just there, and you just think, oh yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Jun's gonna come back,
Yeah.
and maybe we might get a new story because the storyline that we had definitely felt like it wasn't complete. So
Um. Again, I don't think they're looking to spend a massive budget on season 4. This is just for the fans, and I think it's a small like season 2 was a quite the changes were quite far reaching. Then season 3 they were more in the line of refinements, the initial patch anyway. And I feel like season 4 is going to be even more downscaled. I have a feeling they're probably in the background already working on the next iteration of Tekken, whatever that might be, probably Tekken 8. And this is just to keep um, us interested, keep the player base playing until they can reveal. Look, PS5 coming out in 2 months, right? Of course they're working on the next Tekken. They'd be insane not to,
yeah,
right?
nah, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. I think for me, I was speaking to Nee like recently. There's an interview that's going to be coming out very soon with Nee, and
Yeah,
Nee basically said that he wants Tekken 8. He said he doesn't want season 4. He wants Tekken 8, and I'm
yeah.
like, whoa, like he's not interested. He just wants Tekken 8, and he doesn't want 2D characters in. He just wants it to be back to Tekken now, like and. What do you think about that? Do you not like the 2D characters being in the game and the guest characters?
I'm very conflicted when it comes to the 2D characters because on the one hand they represent something genuinely innovative. They're the most innovative new characters that they've introduced in Tekken for absolute decades, and they're quite interesting. But they've never really managed to figure out how to balance meta competitively. I think the closest it comes is probably I mean, Akuma just we all know about Akuma, but even Akuma, like everyone complains about Akuma, and yes, at the top level he is insane, but there are like 10 guys in the world who can really bring out the potential of that character.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, like the thing is just meta is such a big advantage in Tekken 7. It literally allows you to do things that other characters can't.
Yeah.
And you can see all the meter based characters are like either top 5 or top 10. It depends where you want to place Elisa or Geese. I mean, it's debatable, but they're all very powerful characters. They stand right next to Fakum Ram and Leroy. Um, like I would actually want a 2D representative to stay in Tekken 8, but they should further refine it and see how Meta can work within the infrastructure of Tekken.
That's a very good
I
point.
don't want I don't want to ditch it. I think they've done a lot of good work to make it work within Tekken, and it's not quite there yet. But let's keep going. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, I think.
It definitely makes sense. It definitely makes sense. I feel like I like Geese. I've always loved SNK games, like from back in the day to even just now. Like, even I see it. I see it. That's what I'm saying. Like, because even when I ask people, I say, "Why do you like Geese?" Oh yeah, I just like the character. I said, "Okay, do you know about any games? Can you list 5 games that he's in? 5. KOF New Wave, Real Bout Fatal 3-1, Real Bout Fatal 3-2, Real Bout Fatal 3 Special, Fatal 3-1, Fatal 3 Special. He wasn't in 2. He was in Special. Fatal 3.
He's in a bunch of King of Fighters games. He's in King of Fighters
96.
14.
96.
Yeah, 96. He's in the boss team in 96.
Exactly. With Mr. Big and Krauser. I know my stuff,
right,
I know my stuff. So every time when people say, "Oh, you're only playing Geese," I say, "No, I'm not playing Geese because he's top 10. I actually really like the character. I watched the Fatal 3 moves, 1, 2, and the motion picture one. See, I know my stuff, I'm telling you. So but I want him in Tekken because I feel like the whole falling off the building, Geese falling off, Kazuya falling off. I mean, Kazuya falling off, Heihachi falling off.
Parallel between them.
Yeah, it just seems like it's good. And then obviously Akuma's power, all of it it goes into this one world of Tekken, to be fair.
I don't think Akuma's going away because he's like a huge part of the story now. Like it literally ended on a cliffhanger Tekken 7 with Kazuya fighting, Old Devil Kazuya fighting Akuma. You know what? I'd love to see Rock Howard actually.
No.
Yes, because look, the story of Tekken's all about family drama, right? So you'd have the Howards paralleling the Mishimas. I think it'd be cool.
I don't like Rock Howard though. Like I get what you're saying. I think Rock Howard compared to what Geese Howard is just 2 different Howards, man. It's just not the same. I'd rather see Terry, to be honest. But then I know what you mean with the whole family stuff. You got Jin. Jin can face off against Rock. Then Geese can face off against like either, I don't know, Heihachi or Kazuya. It made sense. But I just don't like that character, man. I really don't.
I wanted to take out Leo and put in Rock because Rock, they basically based Leo on Rock. He's the OG Leo.
It's true. It's true. So what? Yeah. So like closing up. Obviously we spoke about like, what characters did you think was gonna actually come back then? So you don't think it's Jun?
Look, I would love to see Jun in Tekken 8. I've always liked Jun as a character, but they have to do it in the right way. And considering how bad the story was in 7, it doesn't really exactly fill me up with hope for how they'll handle the story in 8. Like, I recently played Tekken 4 on a stream, and I was just kind of like, the game is 20 years old, but the way it treats its characters and its story is so much more modern and so many leagues above how it's done in Tekken 7. And I think it's because they actually hired a writer to do the story in Tekken 4.
It would make sense.
They need to do that for Tekken. Like, hire a goddamn writer for your story. If they bring back Jun, it has to be done correctly, and it can't be like a cheap shot for publicity, I think. But it might just be. I discussed this with Main Man a little bit, but I would actually like to see a roster reduction for Tekken 8.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. But this is why I spoke to my streamer before and I was saying Asian Ogre is the perfect character for something like that. Because, hear me out on this one, Asian Ogre always steals other characters' moves. So when people are like, oh, they don't have Anna, they don't have this person, they don't have that person, Asian Ogre can have certain characters' moves. So you're missing out, but you're not really missing out because, Asian Ogre had Anna's full crouch game. Then he had some of Baked Dosan's moves. So if you was like, people that miss Bruce, could play Asian Ogre. People that miss Bayek can play Asian Ogre. People that miss Anna can play Asian Ogre. He could fill the spots. And that's why I
The
was
thing
like, this character is so... He's so... Oh, like, he's such a good design, great design, but they just made him like an idiot in Tag 2, and he's just, I don't know.
The thing is with a design like Ancient Ogre, those characters who are supposed to like Dural from Virtua Fighter, right? It's the same idea. You have a combination of the best moves of every character, and you slap it on one character. It's very hard to Seth as well, right? From Street Fighter. It's very hard to balance those characters, especially in a game like Tekken where all the life bars are the same. So in Tekken 3 and Tag 1, Ancient Ogre was just like crazy good. Like crazy good. Like top 3.
Tag
like,
1
easily.
though, he had the most
and then
health,
in Tag 2, they neutered him completely, and he was like, it's so hard to get a middle ground for those types of characters.
It's true, but in Tag 1, remember, they had different healths, and Asian Ogre and True Ogre had, I think Devil might have had the most health, actually. I don't know, but there was different healths for different characters. So some characters had lower health than others, from what I remembered. And I was asking Cobra and all them lot about it, because I was like, why was that a thing? Like, I've never heard of it to be in any other Tekken, but Tekken Tag 1 was like that.
I think Tekken 3 also has like some characters, like bears can't be launched by generic down forward 2s, for example. Like launches didn't operate the same on all characters. The characters are different weight classes.
Crazy.
Like the ogres were a very unique class, actually. Like Horong's Just Frame Skyrocket doesn't do a class 1 launcher on them. But they can still be launched by down forward 2s. Like I'm not sure if people want to see something like that come back. It might just be a needless complexity. But I do think I always thought variable life bars are an interesting idea in fighting games. But if you did that in Tekken, you would have to take another look at the combo system. I think a certain elements of Tekken just need a complete rethink, because they've just been around for 30 odd years, and well, the combo system that currently is not that. It's been just incrementally added upon with each game. But I just think it doesn't. It's not appealing to most players, and also I don't think it makes sense from a fighting game logic perspective. The current combo system, Screw in particular, I think is insane, because, like, okay, you're a Street Fighter player. You're also a high level Street Fighter player. So in any 2D game, if you turtle too much, and you get like for example, if you play against Guile, your objective against Guile is to push his back to the corner. Yeah. And there, he can't move around, of course, but you also get higher combo damage. Like, corner combos in 2D fighters are higher than mid-screen combos. In Tekken 7, it's the opposite. When your back is to the wall, you get the optimal combos. Because then you can do, like, blah, 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 screw, blah, 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 wall splash, blah, 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 blah. Yeah? But when you're at the wall, when you're hemming the opponent in, you don't get very big combo damage from your launches. So it just doesn't make sense to have like that kind of wall carry for if your back is to the wall, for you to have a higher damage potential. They should.
It definitely makes sense what you're saying. One thing that I don't like in Tekken 7 is low parrying, and then you're still able to do a combo and you're able to screw. In Tekken, I think it was Tekken 6 or even Tag 2. No, Tekken 6 it might have been, where you low parried and you do a combo and you but there was one that you couldn't bound. I think it was Tag 2 maybe even. Or Tekken 6.
In Tekken 3, not like low parries weren't homogenous. Not every character had it. You had manual low parries. And you could they gave you like plus 16 on punches, plus 20 on quick kicks, and you could go into a full launcher. Some characters, I don't know. Yeah, the parry system it definitely helps. Kind of a lot of the way the characters have been balanced, and low parries in particular help to homogenize the characters. Because now a character like Kazuya or Josie, who have really strong I-13 while standing punishers, Well, everyone can kind of do that with the low parry system. Everyone can kind of launch like a low poke, right? So it doesn't make a character like Kazuya or Josie or even Eddie stand out as much.
Your cam is going out of sync with when you're talking. I don't know what that is. It's just it's started to happen. Like, I don't know. It should be okay. I don't know whether it's the connection.
Might be. Like you did freeze a few times as well. So yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. To wrap it up, top 3 things you'd like to see for Tekken 7.
Season 4. Like netcode. But like, no, really, I want a better online experience. In terms of like they're adding moves to the characters, right? And from the roster, it looks like they're giving Kazumi a long range whiff punisher. Like it looks like Kazuya's forward 2, like a block punisher maybe. Like that's something she lacked. That's something that worries me because I feel like the characters are already so rounded. In fact, I'd want them to go in the opposite direction. I'd want them to pronounce strengths and weaknesses even more, make these characters more defined. But whatever, this is what they've been doing constantly with Tekken for the past like 10 years. I just want better netcode. I just want the game to be more playable, and I want to see tournaments, and I just want rollback netcode. Just that's all I want at this point. I don't really want any more characters. I guess you can nerf the hell out of Falcon Ram and Leroy as well. Like the characters that are that easy shouldn't be that strong. Or like I would say just redesign Leroy's moveset because he's a sick character and he doesn't deserve to have such a lazy moveset. But it's not going to happen for Season 4. Hopefully Tekken 8. So yeah, netcode, a bit of balancing, but I'd like the balancing to be focused on nerfs. I think the top 20 characters could all do with a bit of a nerfing, actually. Third one, character. I don't know. Give me Majima.
I don't mind Majima. I also thought it was Majima from they had a development screen and I saw loads of knives in the bottom right. There was Lee that was there was like a background stage that looked like
restaurant,
right. So that's why I thought automatically it's definitely a Yakuza character. But then at the bottom right there was like a effect with like kind of like handles of knives. And I thought,
oh really?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
You gotta look.
Well, if it is Majima, I'll be stoked because he's my favorite Yakuza character, and I think he's way more interesting than Kiryu. But hey, if you're a Kiryu fan, whatever. But yeah, those are my things. Better netcode, better net play, bit of balancing, and maybe a Yakuza character.
Nice. All right, then, man. Thank you very much for your time, and yeah, we'll catch up soon, man.
Sure thing, man. Take care.
Take care, man.
Simmer down. Simmer now. Couple kicks to your boat. I'm a winner now. Like Eddie with the feet. I'm a killer now. Simmer down. Simmer now.